Capcom has not seemed to stay out of the news cycle for very long because just a few days ago we were all talking about how SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos added trigger warnings and censored key artwork, but now Capcom has admitted it has an internal quota to increase the percentage of female managers and is considering hiring non-Japanese directors. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. So this is a That Park Place article. It says video game developer and publisher Capcom recently revealed the company has an internal quota to increase the percentage of female managers employed at the company and is considering hiring non-Japanese directors. If you're unfamiliar, of course, the company develops and publishes a number of popular games and IPs like Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, but it says the company's CEO and chairman also made it clear the company was committed to ESG in a letter from November 2021, which I have had to talk about quite a lot on the channel. We do know that this is a major focus for them, unfortunately. And yeah, they do still occasionally put out really good content, but at the same time, you have to know the details of the company that you're supporting now. You basically can't just go and purchase a video game blindly anymore. You have to look at the actual game to see if it's censored, if it features woke content, and you have to really research the company because a lot of them now have a big focus on ESG. But it says the commitment to ESG surfaced again during the company's 45th Ordinary General Meeting of Shareholders, which had recently taken place. It says a shareholder questioned, "You've submitted a female candidate for external director, however, all your internal directors are male. Please tell me what you are doing to increase the ratio of female managers internally." And the company responded saying, "Regarding diversity of our board of directors, we select director candidates who are able to oversee management of the company and offer appropriate advice while considering the skills and characteristics required in accordance with our management strategy and the balance of each individual's career history, insight, and experience." However, they noted, also note that while our internal directors are all currently male, in addition to women, going forward, we also consider non-Japanese directors. Now, of course, I always say this, the best person for the job should get the job. It does not matter if they're a male, if they're a female, if they're black or white. It does not matter. They should have the opportunity to get the job. But when a company is admitting they're going out of their way to look for certain people of certain backgrounds, ethnicities, genders, etc., that is a major issue. Of course, if they happen to have a female who applies for this job and she's amazing, she should get that position, but they admit that they're also going out of their way to look for non-Japanese directors, and they say regarding female managers, currently 21% of employees are female and 13% of their core talent is female. We are aiming to bring the percentage of female managers up to 15%, and looking ahead, we believe we will be able to see more female directors by broadening our scope and increasing the ratio of female managers. So they are going out of their way to look to hire more females and put more females in these positions, which is definitely a red flag. And it doesn't matter who they had said they were looking for, if it was more men, if it was more women, if it does not matter. They should not be going out of their way looking for certain types of people to hire, basically to fill a quota, which is the problem in the gaming industry right now. We see this with everything, even in the content we are consuming. Developers have lists that they have to go down, checking off boxes saying, we have a certain percentage of females, we have a certain percentage of people of color, we have a certain percentage of LGBTQ representation, and that's not the way that things should work. Again, best person for the job should get the job, and when it comes to content being created in video games, it should come naturally. If you're amazing at your job, if you're a good writer or a good director, you should be able to introduce these concepts naturally. And when you have a checklist and you're going down it, you're shoving all of that into the game, we can tell, which is why we call out DEI. And of course, companies trying to up their ESG scores. And another major red flag here is their wording on non Japanese directors. Of course, right here, they talk about how, in addition to women going forward, we will also consider non Japanese directors, meaning they want to hire people most likely from the West, people who they believe know the content that global audiences want, because we know when companies say they want to make content that appeals to everyone or global audiences, they mean Western audiences or sensitive snowflakes on social media, which, yes, leads to more sanitization in our products. We obviously don't know exactly who they want to hire, but their wording here is very specific but also suspicious, and same with specifying women. When they're talking about hiring more women, one of the unfortunate facts about hiring them is that a large majority of the ones that are seeking jobs in the games industry are activists who are just looking to push the industry further down the path of social justice warrior ideology. Maybe this will turn out good, but at the same time, I have no faith in Capcom at this point or the people who want to work their way into the industry, so only time will tell, but it's definitely a lot of red flags. Now, of course, the commitment to ESG is really no surprise at all. I have covered Capcom extensively on the channel, but just a few months ago, we saw all of the information come out about their localization teams. Their localization team, they were promoting it and they made it clear how they were committed to ESG and DEI tactics, and I have talked about them a lot on this channel. Again, just 2 days ago, I talked about SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos adding a trigger warning and censoring key artwork, and I have heard that there is no censored content in the game, which is amazing to hear. But at the same time, they did still add a trigger warning, they did censor key artwork, which is very suspicious. Then, of course, just 2 weeks ago, Capcom sanitizes the Dead Rising remaster. The boss was race swapped to avoid racial stereotypes. We also have 3 years ago, the huge Capcom leaks talking about their politically correct future, which is kind of the reality we're living in now. It was said then that they were really focused on ESG and certain hiring tactics, which has become more and more apparent with basically every statement they've made and every product they've released. Then we have the slew of sanitization with them admitting teams localize and sanitize games for inclusivity, cultural sensitivity, and context. Capcom has slammed modders, claiming mods go against morals and public order and are equivalent to cheating. I mean, the list with this company goes on and on. And of course, a lot of people have taken to social media to talk about this and basically laugh at Capcom, saying this is no way to get people to trust you or like you again. People are saying things like merit only and it needs to stay that way. Enough of this DEI crap. I 100% agree. Again, if a woman is the best person for the job, she should get the job. But merit is the only way that companies should be hiring. It says rip Capcom. Are they not paying attention to what DEI does to a company? Apparently not, because there are a lot of companies right now losing a heck of a lot of money on the DEI teams that they have. We recently saw Microsoft, decide to basically fire their DEI teams, and some of these companies are very committed and are not changing course, like Disney, for example, but I don't really think that's going to last much longer for them. Capcom had a good run, lol, so boycott absolutely done. Hope they like losing money. We at Capcom have decided to steer our ship directly into an iceberg, so it will be interesting to see if they make any statements about this. They probably won't, because this is an internal quota. This is the direction that they've been going in for years. Again, 3 years ago, I covered these major leaks saying Capcom was going in a DEI direction, and we know that that is definitely the case. So only time will tell, but Capcom has admitted it has an internal quota to increase the percentage of female managers, is also considering hiring non-Japanese directors, and everybody is pointing and laughing at them. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.